Hi, and welcome to Reading in English with Ella. Hi, Ella.
Hi. Hi, Jędrek.
My name is Jędrek, as you know, and we are reading here books in English, books that we find somehow on the internet, and we try to promote reading in general, as reading is one of the best ways to improve your English and any language, in fact. Ella, today, we are going to talk about a book by Mary Beth Keane, Ask Again, Yes. Tell us, how did you find this book in the first place so that people who watch our program may get inspired by your methods of finding books?
It's a very complex question because every time I had trouble finding the right book. Why? Because I'm looking for a linguistically accessible but not naive story. And this book I found on the website of Penguin Publishing House. I remember that you recommended me this publishing house because when we started different books to read, we talked that we need maybe not highbrow literature because
Exactly. We don't want to read Ulysses or some classics.
yes, Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we wanted to read romance, Harlequin.
Yes.
But we need
Something in between, but I think there is one thing that our your in fact choices have in common, that this is some kind of uplifting literature, right?
yes.
These are stories that make us feel good, simply.
I agree, and I remember my favorite book, like Family Life and Wonder.
Yes,
It's the
yes.
best book
Fantastic books,
in
yeah, that
English.
leave a fantastic aftertaste, and they are worth reading, not just because of language, but also because of story and the feeling that they leave. All right, so Ella, you went to Penguin's website, you found this book. We ordered it together, both of us separately, and tell me, how does it read for somebody who is at your level, something around B1, B2?
It's not too easy, to be honest, for me. And for my perspective, is tall order. Why? Because this book has very difficult sentences,
Hmm.
difficult words, and long sentences,
Yes,
long chapter. Fortunately, we have section, like sub chapters.
yes.
Uh,
Very
but
important thing, because the chapters are very long, but at least you can stop when one section or one let's say plot ends and another starts. So it's not just a simple paragraph to make it clear, but some kind of a break in the text.
Yes, and I have to assume that at the beginning I felt confused because
Hmm.
language is advanced,
Yes.
but on the other hand, it's not highbrow literature. And
Hmm.
maybe it's not naive story, but
Hmm.
because I had problem to understand everything, understand sentences,
So the
words.
complicated language makes it hard to kind of focus on the story, right? Because you
Yes,
struggle with the language, because you try to get through, the sentences that are quite intricate.
yes, I mentioned to you earlier that I focused on understanding sentences
Hmm.
and I lost plot.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a big problem.
The
At
purely linguistic experience.
Yes. And at the beginning, I remember that I avoided this book because, I started to read and I thought, oh my God, I didn't understand. I remember that at the beginning, I read um from time to time. At the end
Like
of the
every
day,
weekend, something
yes,
like that.
yes, and because I felt frustrated that I can't understand. And at the end of the day, I decided that I have to read uh, every day.
Yeah, at
Uh,
least one page,
yes,
but
almost,
yeah, yeah.
and
Keep.
and I believe that it helped me because
Hmm.
when I started read every day,
Hmm.
sometimes almost one page,
Hmm.
uh, I started to understood
Hmm.
more, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I started to understood also plot, also story.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what happens, it may be off-putting at the beginning when, wow, the language is, what is that, but then when you get into this language that the author is creating, and her style and so on, I think you can get used to it, and you can sometimes even skip, the parts that you don't understand, but you still kind of grasp what is the text about.
Yes, and I think that our brain started to change. My brain started to
Exactly.
change and used to new languages, new sentences,
Yes.
new complex language.
And I will say, from the perspective of a teacher, that your experience, after reading these around 400 pages, right?
Mhm.
I think it's great, for you, for your development and so on, because this is an exposure to a very good language that is correct, that is not so simple, but at the same time, this is experience. This is experience that will pay off in the future.
Yes,
What else can I say?
yes.
Ella, what about the story? You say that you had a problem to kind of grasp it, to understand it totally. This is partially because of the narration that is used here. The narration is unfortunately not linear, but it's broken. Sometimes she jumps. I mean, the author, she jumps into the future and then tells us what happened in between, and we are constantly shifting between the future, the present, and the past. So this is, I think, from let's say the logical point of view, quite difficult, because if your language skills are not so high, then you have a problem. Oh, where are we, right? What is she talking about?
Yes, I agree with you, but I think that because I focused on language
Hmm.
and complex words, to be honest, I started to think about story. I mentioned it,
Hmm.
and but you're right that for me it's more complex when I lost plot and
Hmm.
lost time, because
Yeah.
sometimes I felt confused that
Yes.
I don't know where I am.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. 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 That's exactly what might happen sometimes. But tell me, what was your major motivation to keep reading? Because sometimes it's this fascinating plot, like what's next, what's next, how this is going to end. What was it in this case? Was
uh,
it
I had
simply Mhm.
I had only one motivation,
Finish the book?
language English. Yes, of course, and I wanted to read in English language
Hmm.
because I have noticed benefits when
Hmm.
I read in English language, and sometimes maybe it's not see in the same time that okay I read article in English language
Hmm.
and I see much benefits, but
Hmm.
later when I started to talk with you, with my colleagues from
Yes.
work, I have noticed that I find different sentences and I know and I wonder when I knew this word.
Yeah. Where do you know it from? And this 400 pages or so, this is experience. This is experience. It's like spending a lot of time with people, talking and listening and so on, because reading paradoxically improves everything, every skill. It improves your, of course, reading comprehension, but it improves your listening skills, because you know somehow what to expect, what can be said. Yeah, and it improves your speaking skills, of course, your builds your vocab. It's fantastic, the way books work. All right. So, Ella, time to summarize. Maybe before we summarize and give it some sort of rating, I'd like to say that I had a lot of fun reading this, and I would like to thank you for choosing this book. It's not a naive story, just like you said, but at the same time, it's such an ordinary book. I mean, it's such an ordinary story. It's like ordinary life. At the end of the book, I felt like, wow, nothing happened here, even though there was, of course, some tragedy and but at the end of the day, it's like ordinary life. This is what ordinary life is. But big credit to Mary Beth Keane for writing this, because I think it takes a skill to capture an ordinary story, very ordinary story, and present it like that. So yes, our lives are amazing, in its ordinariness. All right. Ella, what is the rating? Do you recommend others this book to others?
It's complex because when I think about more advanced people, I feel that is good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think about people, maybe not beginner but mid, because when you feel frustrated, you can lose motivation to keep on reading. But if you and you can choose different book, not ask again. Yes, I think that we have a lot of different book like Family Life, Wonder, Man Call Over, and so on. But yes, but generally, for my perspective, it's not too easy. But I think that we can make this achieve.
Yeah, it is doable, to read it. I recommend it from my side. Reading this is absolutely fun. You have some reservations because the book is written in a language that is, well, simply beautiful. I mean, English can be beautiful, and this is not the simplistic language, but at the same time, this is not James Joyce. So I give it a solid 4 out of 5.
For okay, I give 3.
All right, great. Thanks a
3.
lot, Ella, and thank you for sharing your experience of reading Us Again, Yes, by Mary Beth Keane. That's all from us, I guess. And we see each other in the next
Yes.
episode of Reading in English with Ella.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye bye.